The Crypto Street podcasts are officially sponsored by 21 Cryptos, the world's first and only cryptocurrency trading magazine. Visit 21cryptos.com and enjoy 50 plus pages of pro tips and predictions, an analysis of the best 21 coins to invest in for the month, trading lessons and articles from your favorite pros, price action event calendars, entertainment, and lots more. Stay ahead of the game and get your copy today. Visit 21cryptos.com.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Dale is back from vacation, ready to get this podcast rolling again with me as your host. Killer did a great job. Thanks for covering for me while I'm gone.
It was a tough job, bro. I don't know. I hope you're well rested for your vacation.
You know, I told my wife on the way back on the plane, I said, God damn, we took my family down on a vacation or whatever. And I thought, holy shit, I need another vacation from my vacation.
That's how it goes, bro.
Well, it's ridiculous.
I've done the trip you did before, many a time when I was younger with my family and everything. It's totally the exact sort of trip, I mean, it's tiring. You're doing a lot of walking. You want to tell everybody where you went, or I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, so I just took my I might get some flack from Colleen for not telling her I was in Florida, but took my family to Disney World, did that whole experience, and it was fun for my son, but I'm ready for an adult vacation.
Disney World's a dope place, but you don't relax at all the entire time you're there. You're moving around the entire time. It's very fun, but it's not at all relaxing, really.
There's it's hard too with the son my age that just wants to run and go all the time. So it's just keeping him confined, and then you just never know who's down there and whatnot. So. But glad to be back. How's everything out in LA?
Everything's good here, dude. Just making my way through the work week. I got Monday off, which will be sick, which is tomorrow. We're recording this on Sunday. So enjoying the 3-day weekend. It's been pretty nice out here.
Nice.
Prince, how's everything in Canada?
Prince, my man.
Oh, guys.
Yeah. How's the weather up there?
It was cold out yesterday. Cold out again today. Probably going to be cold tomorrow. So lots of cold, a lot of snow. So, I'm just living in paradise.
Hey, is that a Boston Red Sox hat you're wearing?
Yeah, it is. I had to stop wearing my Bitcoin hat.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Sorry, I don't even watch baseball, really. I'm just wearing it to control the lettuce, keep the hair intact, It gets all over the place. So
the Red Sox of all teams, bro?
Well, I had to stop wearing my Bitcoin hat because... Kid you not, you go to the store and then...
Afraid you're going to get kidnapped?
Well, you get some random person at the cashier. Oh, Bitcoin. How many Bitcoins do you have? Yeah, that's the most awkward...
Are you a millionaire?
That is the most awkward fucking question you can get, in person. It's
Prince, that's when you got to pull the, don't you know who I am?
Yeah, do you know?
I have a podcast.
I got a Twitter account.
Yeah, that too.
Well, hey, guys, I'm pretty stoked about today's guest. I don't know about you, but we've got Cryptopath with us.
Hey guys.
One of my I like a lot of the OGs or whatever, and he's kind of been in the space for a long time. So Path, thanks for being on with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So let's just tell everyone tell them how you got into this space, into crypto, and maybe what it was that was intriguing to you.
So back in 2010, I used to play this game called World of Warcraft, and I had a friend who mined Bitcoin with his laptop, GPU mining back in the day. I was 13 years old at the time, so I didn't really understand any of it. And then he brought it back up a couple of years later when it was $12. Well, I want to buy some. So I asked my parents for some money. They said, no, it's probably a scam. So I didn't. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Sorry.
Yeah. And then it kept going up and up and up. And then early 2013, I ended up buying in. It was $150. And then crashed to $50 the next day.
Jeez.
So yeah, it was good. Good introduction to the market there.
You were literally forged in the fires, eh? Going up to 150 and then just crashing back down to 50. You were forged in the fires. I love it.
Hey, which class did you play in WoW?
I played Warrior.
Oh God, here we go.
I have to know.
Yeah, I played Warrior.
Okay. Horde or Alliance?
Horde.
Okay. Undead Rogue here. Represent. All right, back to the topic.
Yeah. So I didn't really do much till the end of the year when Bitcoin, all coins took off for the first time, and I traded on BTC. So part of the reason I got into Bitcoin was because I wanted to get into trading, but then most brokerages they don't let you make an account until you're 18. But then with Bitcoin, it was completely unregulated at the time. So I was trading on BTC and Crypto because I didn't need any verification back then. Yeah, the coins were just going crazy, like they were like last week, really. Stuff like as Tron's gone up like 1,000% or whatever it is, like stuff did that. I remember Quark coin
know
went
nothing
from
about Tron.
Quark coin went from like 20 satoshis to like 30,000.
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't even know what it is. I'm just like, I think I saw you make a tweet about it, how you don't even recognize most of these coins in like, the top 20s market caps. And, so I was like, oh, I should go have a look at what coins are in the top 20. And man, like, yeah, I don't recognize any of these. Like, there's a few, but it's just like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, I'd stay away from like Cardano. Like, I
don't know,
it
really
20 billion.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, what inning of the bull market we're in. If you think about it in terms of baseball, whether we're in the 6th, 7th, 8th. Just because, I had the exact same experience. You go on CoinMarketCap, it's like you're reading a different language sometimes.
Yeah. It's dangerous. You see all these people as well, like averaging down on the Tron dip or whatever it was, like buying at 700 Satoshi. It's like, it's not going to end well for these people.
Oh, it's going to be vicious.
Path, let's talk about that. That was one thing I wanted to talk about, was averaging down for people that are listening that don't know. That's just say you buy something at 1,000 Satoshi and it starts falling. So you kind of are essentially buying the dip. I saw that you had tweeted, I don't know, the other day that you are maybe not necessarily against averaging down, but maybe share your thoughts on why you feel that way about it.
If you're averaging down, you're going against the trend of the market. So the odds are already against you, like immediately. And especially at this stage of like a market cycle, like you're not buying low. So you're not getting a good entry. Like these things have fallen like 99.99% sometimes. If you go back and look at the old coins, like, you can be buying all the way down to zero. It's not going to go well.
Like it scares me because, even this last week and a half, I'd say, I just have this really uneasy feeling about the market right now. And it's tricky, because this is just my gut. But then I see, I'm getting more texts from friends who don't know anything about it, and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Literally, they just have no clue. They're calling Bitcoin Litecoins. It's just a mess. And I see this coming in, and it's literally like, people who can't even read, and they're coming in, and they're going full force. And it's just like, fuck, like this scares the shit out of me right now.
You know what? I've noticed that too, but I've really only noticed that probably the past 2 or 3 months. And these things can continue for a long time, It's just, I definitely have noticed an extreme increase in the amount of noob money, just noob questions, people just piling into random coins, things like that. Things that make you a little bit concerned, a little bit hesitant about where we're at in the market cycle. But like I said, those things can continue for like a year, 2 years. So I totally get the feeling, but it's like, who knows when to act on that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's tough, right? Yeah.
Path, what do you think about that? What do you think if you had to put like an inning on it in terms of like baseball of the bull market? What would you say?
Well, I'm from the UK, so I haven't seen much baseball.
So a game is 9 innings.
Let's say that. What minute are we at in the soccer match or football?
With no extra play.
Yeah,
probably like that.
No stoppage time.
Last quarter or so, I'd say. Like, well, I mean, I can't really say for sure, but yeah, it's not. No, I feel I wouldn't like to invest at these prices, right? Like you want a good like low. You want to wait until it consolidates at a low price. Really, you don't really, because like this could be the distribution phase.
Maybe like hold what you have, but not necessarily pile into more.
Yeah. So I'm still holding some like long term. I've sold off some of my like cold storage coins. Because I've been in since like, as I said, like since $150. It's unreal at these prices, to be honest. And like Ethereum, because I was trading Ethereum like back when, like after the ICO launch, it was like around $1 or something. I bought like near the all-time lows, and then because I sold it like I flipped it from like 80 cents to $2. And I was like, oh, it was a great trade. And now it's like, what is it, 1,400? It's ridiculous.
Fuck.
I don't know. Yeah, the people who are like coming into the market, they only see the prices going up and they want to make money. They don't understand any of the technology. And people like they can't, if they do make money, they're not going to keep it for very long. Like a lot of them, they kind of overfit their strategies for this market. So like the prices keep going up and they hold, right? But then they just never sell. And so it's going down. Like they end up giving back all the money they make to the market.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think the market kind of got its first taste of how vicious an altcoin bear market can be just a few months back. And I'm thinking the next bear market's going to be a hell of a lot worse than that one. I think that was just like the warning phase. It's like, this is what it can be like for you new money, you know? And so it's tricky. And, you know, again, to say to everybody who's listening, don't get attached to a bag mentally, right? Because, you know, the bag doesn't care about how you feel about it. It's the only thing that matters is the price.
Yeah, even if it's like good fundamentally, like I'd argue that doesn't really matter that much because stuff like Digibyte is up or whatever the hell it is now. And like Dogecoin as well as over $1 billion market cap, it doesn't make any sense, but it's there.
Right. So Path, have you seen something like this in a previous market cycle?
Well, yeah.
I mean, does it look like something that you've seen before?
Yeah, like you have all the people saying like, oh, Tron's going to go to whatever, and they have a plan until 2023, wherever it is, and like all these people, like there's a lot of, I think Timek on the guy with the Terminator, on Twitter. Mm-hmm. He's talking to a guy who was like an expert or something about Tron. He was in a thread I saw, but yeah, like he's like saying buy, and then it keeps going down. It's like it's not going to end well for any of these people. And yeah, that Justin Sun guy as well, like he's a devil of Bitcoin, and he's like basically pumping it on Twitter. That's always a red flag. And like if you like back in the day, you had Max Kaiser, and there was a guy called Bill Steele. So he was talking up Quotecoin on his whatever his like podcast or YouTube show, whatever it was, because it was up like 1,000%. He was like, oh, it could go up another 1,000% this week. It's like, oh,
just unrealistic.
Like, yeah, but like people, like nobody really knows what they're doing, so they're buying into it, thinking, oh, it could go up another 1,000%.
Yeah.
So, and then if you say, like, yeah, they get emotionally attached with coin because, like, say they buy in and it doubles, like they're not going to sell there, and they're going to be like, oh, well, if you hold it, it'll keep going up, and then
it's crazy because you know, it's like you say, they don't really care and they don't really think about it, and it's as simple as even just them looking at how cheap the price is. You know, Ripple, just like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. It's, you know, people don't realize that it's a massive market cap right now, but the amount of times I get people who don't know anything about this space, they just watch coin market cap and they just look at the US dollar price. They always seem to want to buy Ripple. And it just makes me want to claw my eyes out because, you know, it's like that thing you said there on Twitter. You can buy a fraction of a Zcash. I actually had to tell that to somebody. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't real life right now.
Well,
sorry. Yeah, I think Ripple have probably taken out like more marketing. Or like they've funded their marketing more because like, a lot of people I talk to in real life who maybe know about Bitcoin but have never bought it, they all want to get on a Ripple. Like it's like a massive pump and dump. It's like it's not even going to be used for anything. It's kind of more centralized in Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense. But they give you all these talking points. Like it's going to be more decentralized. Like, do you even know what decentralized really means? Like they don't know any of the metrics. They're just in it because they're making money in the short term.
I think that article that just came out was that it kind of just sums up how ridiculous the space is at this point. And the article headline was like, everybody's getting hilariously rich in crypto and you aren't, or something like that. And it's like, fuck, like, don't make these headlines like this. That scares me, you know? It's like, oh God.
Well, Path, it kind of goes back to what you were talking about in terms of don't fight the trend. You know, whether it makes sense or not, the trend is for sure up. And it's hard there is no really good reason that a lot of these coins are pumping. So you could spend all day trying to think, you know, the fundamentals of this or that, but the vast majority of these things are bullshit. I really think like 90% of projects are probably absolutely or nearly worthless. A lot of these things can be done on Bitcoin or Ethereum, on those blockchains. Those blockchains are adopting technology that other ones are implementing, you know, so it's the sort of thing where you really have to stick with the quality. And I think that becomes more and more important as we get closer to, you know, so to speak, that 8th or 9th inning of this bull market. I think you're going to see sort of a flight to quality if the market does start to dip. Having said that, I'm pretty bullish on alt right now. I think alts are looking pretty good. I think Bitcoin's looking flat or slightly bearish. But, you know, the trend is your friend until it's not. It's like a cheesy, corny saying, but it really does apply. I think especially in crypto. When I first got involved, I was trying to short every top and long every bottom. On like the 5-minute candle charts, and it's completely crazy. You're just going to keep liquidating, like losing tiny bits of money over and over. So just stick with the trend.
Yeah. as you were saying, like about the moving to higher quality stuff, I think like you probably amplify your gains on Bitcoin or Ethereum if you go into like more risky alts. It's kind of like trading on leverage in a way. Like they are very strongly correlated. Something I was talking about recently was like if maybe Ethereum like flips Bitcoin. I don't think it's that likely, but I think it's maybe more likely than most people would like to admit. Like if that happens, then there's probably like there's going to be a fight for the top spot. Like if it's shown that Bitcoin can actually lose it, then there's probably going to be pumping ups of other currencies to try and take it.
I agree.
It's just many chaos.
I kind of get more and more the feeling that it's like only a matter of time before it's going to happen. Honestly, I think Ethereum will eclipse it eventually. I just think if you really make an argument for it, you can hypothetically value Ethereum at a higher level. If you think about it as just sort of like an internet for decentralized applications, it probably should be worth like trillions of dollars, you know, in terms of network value or market cap or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I really do think it will turn into a battle. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, there'll be kind of like a balance met between like how new the technology is. And because of like, obviously it's more risky, right? If it's not tested. So like IOTA, the blockchain doesn't even work. It's not even a blockchain. It's called a tangle or whatever. Like it doesn't even work half the time, right? But like, because it has the potential to be better, people are still willing to value it. Like even if it doesn't work properly. So there's kind of like a risk assessment to be done there. Like if it does work, then maybe it would be worth more than all the other blockchains. But yeah, interesting.
It'll be interesting to see what happens if that flippening does go down too, because God, I don't even want to be on Twitter for that day. There will be a lot of tears shed and a lot of pissed off people.
Yeah, it'd be weird to trade Ethereum pairs as well, like because I'm so used to trading Bitcoin pairs. Like, it would more of the liquidity go to that? I don't know. I can't really see that happening, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's scary for me to think about because, you know, I don't know how to even feel to judge some of this, what might be coming up. You know, say Bitcoin really does go down and it goes down hard, which to me wouldn't be out of the question. We've had such a run up. You know, it's like if Ethereum takes that top spot, does a flippening or something, you know, how are alts going to react? And I think about this a lot, and it's like a lot of times I think, yeah, they're going to dump and they will dump hard. And I do believe that. But then I'm also thinking it's like, oh, but those Ethereum products, you know, those ERC20 tokens might end up being like a safe haven almost in a sense if you want to still try to play the alt game. So it's kind of a funny one to think about. And it's one that's got me scratching my head a bit right now because I don't know what to think, but I'm trying to protect my ass a bit. So I'm slowly moving my portfolio out.
Path, let's talk about how you evaluate a trade. If you're looking into something, what are some key components that you look at? Maybe talk about FA and TA, if you would, please.
Okay. So I have a couple of lists on Twitter. There's a lot of other traders I look for their opinions. It's a lot easier that way because I don't really have to do the analysis myself. Like, because I've spent so much time on Twitter, I'm able to kind of like profile other traders and like, yeah, I can kind of not copy their trades, but at least take it into account when I'm looking at my own trades. Which makes me aware of a lot of coins because there are so many coins nowadays, like it's impossible to go through them all. Really. Mm-hmm. So bismuth is one of them. A lot of people talk about bismuth that I kind of respect. So I ended up looking to a trade on that. It's gone pretty well.
Yeah, bismuth is super unique. I have a little bit of it, but it's not really anything worth anything. But it's to me, it's just a project. It's like hold on to that because it's so unique.
So what are some of the other traders maybe that you kind of value or, you know, in your eyes are pretty respectable for anyone listening that they should be following?
Well, so I've had a group of traders that I've been trading with for like a few years. I'd recommend anyone like in the space, if you're serious about trading, like you should definitely find other like-minded traders and like discuss with them like consistently. Like if you're working together, it's a lot easier to be successful. So Flying Head, I trade with. Limdart, I've been talking to for ages. Emerald Crypto, if you know him. He's not around so much anymore, but yeah. I'll go through all of them, but yeah, just as an example.
Path, what are like some of your favorite coins right now? Just coins that you're most bullish on, projects you're most excited about, upcoming ICOs, anything like that?
Well, Zcash, of course, right? I think, so Coinbase is probably going to add either Monero or Zcash next. I just think like logically they probably want an anonymous coin. They're going to choose any of them. It's going to be those two because like they have a combination of highest market cap, and also like.
I get that though, but what do you think? Like, I hear an argument that Coinbase is going to be hesitant to add an anonymous coin, given that they are pretty receptive to law enforcement and government intervention. And I think an anonymous coin is kind of a headache that Coinbase maybe doesn't want. And so, what do you think about that argument? I've heard that. I don't know if I agree with it yet, but it kind of makes sense to me.
Well, to use Coinbase, you still need to verify that, right? So, like, even if it's an anonymous coin, you still know who's trading it. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, you still got to create an account. You still got to submit, your driver's license stuff. So that'd be fine. Yeah,
I hope they do. I hope they add Monero.
Yeah, Monero I think makes a lot of sense.
Plus one that.
Yeah, they probably have like the least food. Like it's more respectable. Like they actually kind of criticize their own project as well. Like they're not pump dumping it or anything. There's no like foundation that has a reward go to it. But yeah. And like, as well with the Zcash with the toxic waste, like that's I think a big problem. Maybe like if that is compromised.
Can you explain what that is?
So when they did the trusted setup, if the trusted setup was compromised, then it's possible for someone to generate infinite coins, and because they can use a shielded address, you wouldn't know until they sold them. Of course,
that's deadly.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's not good. You wouldn't know until they sold them. So we're just waiting on a phantom gigantic dump.
Yeah, I think Zirko did talk about fixing it, but you'd have to like de-anonymize every address or something. So I don't know. I don't really know enough about the fundamentals.
Path, how do you see, or what's the biggest threat to crypto in 2018 in your opinion?
Well, I think a flippening would definitely throw a lot of chaos into it, right? Because you're supposed to have Bitcoin as a store of value, and then if this other crypto takes it over, then that's going to maybe shake a lot of confidence. But it could encourage index funds for crypto, so like they'd invest into a lot of the biggest ones. So maybe they'd be more correlated then as well. So something that has happened, I think, twice this week already. Some of the banks are stopping deposits and withdrawals to different exchanges. Some like credit cards being cancelled. So if you buy a Bitcoin credit card through WireX or whoever else offers one, banks just aren't working with them. That stops a lot of the on-ramps because it's pretty difficult to buy. Well, it's kind of dangerous to buy Bitcoin with cash.
Yeah, I think I heard that Visa is like becoming a little bit hesitant about issuing all these Bitcoin debit cards and different crypto cards. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how that develops. How these really big mainstream behemoth companies, how they struggle with the kind of adoption of this new technology that's really hard to wrap your head around, legality wise, regulation wise. I don't know if you guys read that story, but I thought that was interesting. How Visa's kind of like taking a step back and they're like, I don't know,
It's a tough part, right? Like it's such a new, it's a niche market really still, I'd say. It's so new. And because of that, it's vastly underdeveloped in a lot of senses right now. And then you want to start working with, regulated businesses in an unregulated manner, it's going to create a lot of headaches and roadblocks along the way, right?
If these companies see Bitcoin as the competition, and there's no reason why they can't just stop all banking. Like Bitfinex had a lot of banking problems, and now they're in I think it's an Eastern European country. Like they had to find a bank there.
Yeah.
Now they're based in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's always going to be like this game of whack-a-mole where, it's like a cat and mouse where the companies go somewhere and then that place gets regulated. Then they go somewhere else that's not regulated. That place gets regulated, that sort of thing. And I think there will always be safe havens. Certain countries, it's just going to benefit them too much not to be safe havens. You see it with Bitmain. I think a story came out a few days ago about how they moved a large portion of their mining operations to Switzerland as China kind of cracks down on that. So that's what I tried to tell people at work. They're like, what do you think about China banning Bitcoin mining operations? I'm like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the hash power is not going away. It's just moving. It's not going, it's not disappearing.
Oh, and especially these guys, these big miners, they're so on top of their game. They're not going to fucking give up their money that they're making. These guys have
millions of dollars at stake. They're not just going to go, oh, we got to shut it down, guys. Yeah. Too bad. Like, they're making too much money for that.
Yeah.
It's not the Oregon Trail days where you don't have, you have to load up your horse and carriage and go.
And all these companies have the means to travel to move their operations because they're all making so much fucking money. It buys a certain amount of freedom.
Yeah. It's good. We're seeing more competition in the mining space as well. So like BTC Jack, he launched his own mining company recently. I think they're manufacturing their own miners. It's good that Bitmain has competition because they almost had a monopoly on mining machines. like that is a centralized part of the industry in itself. It's quite dangerous because like they had a backdoor.
Yeah,
one
the
of them,
ASIC
I don't know
boost
much about it,
or
to be honest,
whatever
but
it was,
like it's not good. Yeah, that's it.
Fucking Jihan.
Hey, Path, what do you see different in 2018 versus 2017 in crypto as a whole?
So yeah, I think we'll definitely see some like index funds launched. Like I want to say that we'll see less scams, but I know realistically
see
that's
more.
not going to happen.
Yeah, definitely more.
Yeah, so we'll probably see market saturation because of that. Maybe altcoins will be harder to like get return on investments from because people will be like more wary, or like everyone would have already lost their money that is going to lose their money, if that makes sense. Like all those people who are buying into Tron, well, they're not going to buy into another coin after they get burned on that, are
That'll
they?
scare him off. I'm scared for that moment because I know it's going to be a friggin' disaster when the entire... Yeah, it's already happening, yeah. And it's like, it's terrifying to think about because it's like, fuck. Like, it's going to be a lot of tears.
Yeah.
A lot of tears.
Well, it's like we keep expecting this to come, but like I guess it doesn't do us any good to worry about it. Just be prepared and don't go like a million times leverage on every single coin. You know, just kind of keep in mind that we've had a really good run and it wouldn't be that abnormal for the market to tank for a little bit. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world. Crypto's not going to die. But like you guys said, it's going to happen, you know. I mean, all good things must come to an end, and this has been an amazing cycle. But just don't get too used to it. Just kind of always keep in mind, you know, keep in the back of your head that it's not going to be forever. And don't get me wrong. It's certainly the case for now that it's super bullish.
Yeah.
And I really think that could continue for another couple of years, but just be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Path, what are your thoughts on Bitcoin right here? Currently around 13,500. I see some people on Twitter saying that if it breaks support, it could fall. I mean, I know they're not. It's saying the next strong support's around 600, which is a little crazy for me. But I mean, what are your thoughts here?
So I've sold off half of my cold storage of Bitcoin above 15,000. I'm not sure what the average is exactly, but yeah. So I've sold off a lot of my long-term position. Those articles where it's like everyone's getting rich, like that's a big red flag. I can't not take profit, if that makes sense, right? Like does not feel good to be in the market when all that stuff is coming out. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like him, but Peter Brandt, his chart.
Are you talking about the chart of his he posted on Twitter where he's talking about how the parabolic trend has been broken?
Yeah, even though like the trend he's drawn isn't actually like great, but I mean it's still valid. I think that analysis. Yeah, like when you lose momentum, a lot of people are buying or are holding because the price has been going up so much. Like as soon as that stops, they'll look for better returns elsewhere. Yeah, as I said, like a lot of people, they don't care about the fundamentals or like what Bitcoin can do as a technology. They just want money. So they see them.
I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term, you know, for the foreseeable future. But short term, I really am getting kind of a bearish sideways vibe, which I'm not unhappy about, given that, you know, it's going to be good for alts, I think. But I'm definitely getting a muddling sort of, you know, just losing energy feel when I watch the Bitcoin price. I don't know what you guys are feeling.
It's tough for me. You know, like obviously it's easy to see, oh yeah, we got a pennant forming, you know, a bull pennant. But, you know, it feels weaker than normal. It just doesn't have that strength feel to it. But, you know, this is Bitcoin. It can fucking shoot up at any point and make me look like an asshole for saying that. So, you know.
Well, it's going to be interesting too, because I'm seeing so many bull pennants on so many different alt charts that if Bitcoin makes a strong rally, it's going to throw a wrench into a lot of those bull pennants. And when I say bull pennants, I'm talking about alt Bitcoin charts. So the ratio, not alt versus the dollar.
Yeah, so like Ethereum at the moment is like it's forming a bull pennant against Bitcoin. Usually, like you can kind of use it as a proxy for how the Bitcoin market is going to go, or like if. So like the other day, or a couple of weeks ago when Bitcoin was at 19,000, you have a lot of altcoins coming to like full retraces or the bubble. So like Ethereum went back to 0.24, which was like the distribution phase for like 2016. Yeah, 0.024, sorry. So they made a low there. And then a lot of other coins they were making, like they were hitting all-time lows. So like Zcash hit all-time lows. And then they bounced from there, and then Bitcoin kind of like it stopped at 20,000, and you had like a reversal of the whole market like in sync. And yeah, you can kind of like use cross-pair analysis to figure out where the market's going to go sometimes. So like yeah, all kinds they do still look fairly bullish against Bitcoin. That might mean Bitcoin goes sideways, they rally against the dollar, or maybe it means they go sideways against the dollar or Bitcoin falls. Yeah, we'll see. Like, yeah, Ethereum against Bitcoin, very bullish, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm super bullish on Ethereum right here. I've been watching the chart for a lot of the past like week or so, even, but especially the past few days. I think it's sort of getting close to the conclusion of a bull pennant. It's going to be interesting to see if it breaks above. If it does, I think it's going to go really high. I mean, just breaking above this bull pennant will put it. I don't have the chart pulled up right now, but it's going to go really quite. I think like $2,200 at least, and then on the Bitcoin chart. I think 0.12 or 0.13 or so.
Yeah, it's consolidating a high, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it just explode upwards.
That's the thing about Ethereum too. Like even just looking at the chart in the Bitcoin chart, for example, or something, when it starts to move, that fucker moves and it goes pretty hard and it doesn't slow down for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. So, Path, we're going to move on to over under. This is where we do pick 4 tokens, coins. We give a projected price, and we're projecting whether or not it'll be over under in a month's time frame is what we're doing. Okay. So first, we're going to go with Bitcoin over under 20,000 currently. Like I said, about 13,500.
Yeah, I say under.
Yeah, I'll go under too. I just think it's looking weak. I don't think it has much upward momentum. It doesn't look that strong. And I know these are kind of vague ways of describing price action, but if you watch the chart, I think it becomes kind of apparent. If you look at the volume and everything, it just seems like it's kind of sputtering. So I'm going to go under.
Yeah, there was a lot of momentum was lost after that CME launch. I'm not. This is the thing, right? It's like on the chart, I see a pennant, but then realistically, I'm thinking to myself, I don't see this breaking upwards. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't see it going up above, so I'm pretty bearish, I guess, in that sense. But
even if you're bullish, I think like to get over 20,000 is a lot in a month.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Next, it's Ethereum. Over under currently priced about 1,300. Over under 3,000.
3,000,
3,000 in a month. I'll go under. I think it's got a decent shot at being over 2,000. I think that's probably likely within a month, in my opinion. But 3,000, I don't see. So I think it'll be somewhere between 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'd go under. Like that is a hell of to double from here.
Yeah, that's a heavy market cap.
I can see it happening within a month, maybe, but like, would it sustain that level until the end of the month? I don't think so.
It's kind of tough though, because like on the Bitcoin chart, I mean, it looks like it should go up like 40-ish% from here, and so once it gets that crazy, it can get kind of out of control.
I don't see it happening. Yeah, I'm under as well. I don't know. I'll be under, even though I could still see a world where it does happen.
I'm going over. Fuck you guys. All right. So Monero currently at about $400. Go over under 1,000. Actually, let's change that to 850.
If you had said like 650, I'd probably go over, but 850, I'll go under, I think.
I'm going to go over. I think it looks really good.
I'm going to say Fluffy Pony discovers some cure for cancer and it goes over. So we'll say over.
Maybe Coinbase that's it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's hope. One can hope. Last one is Dragon Chain, currently at about $3.83, over under $10 in 1 month.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm still riding some of my ICO tokens. And I do believe it's a possibility. It's not on any big exchanges yet. It's only on KuCoin, really, and EtherDelta. So I'm going to say it's a strong possibility because there's enough FOMO going on over these ICOs getting stupid returns and, this is potential and it's new. So, yeah, I'll say there's potential.
$10, I'm going to go under. I think it could get into the high single digits. I think that's very possible. It already creeped over $5 at one point. Dragon's a coin that I do not have. I dislike it for the same reason I dislike Neo. It's making a lot of people money, but not me. But I go under 10, but you know what? I'm sure it's just me hating it speaking out, so I'm sure it'll fly past 10 and go to like 1,000 or some bullshit.
I'm gonna go over under. Like I haven't traded Dragon before actually, but yeah, as you said, like it's not any big exchanges, but a lot of people they won't move their coins to exchanges until it's on one they trust. So it would bring more demand, but at the same time, it comes to be more supply. So yeah, I don't really muck it up well. I'll go over under though.
Yo, Bully, if you're listening, this thing is going to definitely go over. And I'm still going to be pissed at you for not shilling this enough.
But Bully claims he told us about Dragon, but I do not recall this. And either way, I demand a direct message. I can't be expected to read every single message that's posted into a general chat with hundreds of people, Bully. So in the future...
Actually, if it means anything, I did tweet about it before he tweeted about it. That I was
so then we should be pissed at you then, Prince.
Jeebus beat all of us to tweeting about it, so we'll just leave it at that.
and for the record, I know Bully will admit this. I told him about Lux when it was like $1.25. I messaged him and said, hey, check this out. You should probably get in. And Killer, it was a direct ass message to him. And he's just like, I don't know, Dale. And now look at
God almighty.
Luxdale, is that a scam?
That's what I've heard.
You're shilling me a scam.
Shut your pie hole. You're lucky I'm trying to be PG-13 here.
Oh, that's right. This is Tamedale. After we had some, well, never mind.
So guys,
some sensitive folks complaining.
What's chapping your ass today?
Chapping our ass. I think just overly sensitive people in general, I would say. I think it's, it kind of comes with the territory, with the internet, with putting things out there. You say enough things, some people are not going to like it, no matter what it is, for the most part. But I just think, nobody's demanding that you do anything. So if you don't like it, then too bad.
Yeah. I enjoyed us getting chirped by some dude putting his Twitter or in his Twitter bio his portfolio gains. So I thought that was pretty unique. That was a first for me. I've never had that happen. So that was cool. But yeah, no. To the people who are a little sensitive and don't like the way sometimes we talk, don't listen.
Curious to why someone would want to put their portfolio gains in their Twitter bio. Like, I mean, I could go on there right now and say, my returns in crypto have been a gazillion %.
The worst part about it is when the gains look sweet, but then you look at the entire crypto market and you're like, oh, well, really, they're just on par with the market right now.
Or underperformed. And the thing is, it's hard for me to shit on this because I used to do it when I first started. I feel like such a douche looking back at it, and I really regret it. But when I first started, I was like, all right, I got to set myself apart. I don't know what I was thinking because you can easily be lying about it. You're literally just typing something out.
Yeah,
but now I know it's douchey, and now I know better, and now I would never do it. So if you do, you're a loser.
Hey, kudos to you, Killer, for admitting that. Because if that was me, I'd have just sunk in my chair and not just said a word about it.
You know what I was thinking? Because I was thinking we're going to get some fan who's like, Killer's talking about putting percentages in portfolio, and he used to do it. He's a fucking hypocrite. He's an idiot. Just like when I got the temperature wrong in Canada, and some guy on YouTube's like, yo, you're a fucking idiot, you moron. It's cold as shit. It's negative 30 Fahrenheit. Like, yeah, okay. Sorry, dude. Not a fucking polar explorer.
Or a meteorologist.
Oh,
shoot. Anyway. Path, you got anything you want to add to us just ranting here?
Yeah, buy Zcash.
And you can buy a fraction of a Zcash.
Wait, you can? Wait a second.
Yeah. Nobody told me.
Yeah, I expect a DM from you, Prince, telling me that you don't have to buy a full one. Reminded me. Well, Pat, thanks for being on, man. I appreciate your knowledge and
thanks for having me.
Everything.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Good having you on.
Thanks.
As always, podcast listeners, tip your fucking waitresses.
Don't
or waiters. I'm not sexist. Waiters or waitresses.
Despite what some people say on Twitter.
Tip them. Tip them. Tip them. If they're hot,
tip them
more. Yeah.
Put your number on the receipt.
Well, I just was sexist again. I'm sorry.
Yep. There we go.
Right. Peace out. Tip your waitress. Take care. We'll talk soon.